Here are several ways to deal with toxic people. What is your cost? Ask yourself, what is this relationship costing me? In every relationship you are in, there is a cost to being in and maintaining the relationship. Some relationships are light maintenance. Maybe you send a text message once a month or so. Others you have to devote resources to keep the relationship going. Maybe you spend once a week going out for dinner. Thus the cost may be 2 hours of your time and $100 a week. But abusive relationships cost you even more. Maybe you cannot be who you want to be because you have to conform to their standards or their demands for you to keep the peace. Or you cannot do the things you want to do. You are not allowed to follow your dreams, or the person makes it very difficult for you to progress in life by sabotaging your efforts or holding you back in some way. Your mental and physical health suffers due to emotional and physical abuse. For abusive relationships, the cost is you. Once you calculated the cost of a relationship, ask yourself, is it worth the price I'm paying to be in this relationship? 2 hours of your time and $100 a week may seem okay to invest in a relationship, but what if all the person does in those 2 hours is complain and criticize you? And no relationship is worth your mental and physical health. Say no. Toxic people do not respond to hints and words, they respond to actions. They will keep on using and abusing you until you set your foot down and say no more. This means setting boundaries by deciding what you are going to allow and how you will respond if your boundaries are broken. Then you have to enforce your boundaries. Maybe a person keeps talking for hours on end. Decide you will give them X amount of time. When the time is up, just say you have to go and cut the call. Or if they cannot get to the point in the first 5 minutes of a call, ask them to get to the point. Maybe a person keeps on borrowing money. Refuse to give them any more until they repay what they owe you. Say no to the things that hurt you, do not bring you joy and peace, or that you do not feel comfortable doing. You do not have to give a reason for saying no or feel guilty. You have a right to say no. Understand the person. One of the things that will make it easier to deal with toxic people is to understand them better. This requires you to accept them for who they are and what they are. It does not mean you excuse their behaviors, but it will allow you to be realistic in what you expect from them, such as not expecting a victim narcissist to take responsibility for their problems, or to thank you for all you have done for them, or for a person who abuses you to stop their behavior. They are the way they are. A car can no more carry a 20-ton load than a truck can fit in a small parking space. Let go of your hopes that they will change. Study them and see what upsets them and what makes them happy. What are their good points and what are their bad points? Can you work it so that you only have contact with them when they're in a good mood? When you accept that the person does not think as you do and does not believe the things you do or have the same standards as you, you will be able to expect from them what they realistically can offer. You cannot expect a broken car to drive the same as a fixed one. And if you accept the person is in some way broken deep inside where you cannot access it or fix it, you will be able to deal with them better and it will save you a lot of frustration. You may also realize that they are just not capable of giving what you want. Just like a 2-seater car that cannot take the whole family with all their belongings camping, so do each person have their limits. Maybe this person is not for you, or you changed and they no longer can give you what you need. It may be time to let them go. Stop trying to change them. This goes with the previous point of accepting them as they are and lowering your expectation for them. While many people do accept how another person is, they think they can change the person. This is a fruitless endeavor that will just result in a lot of heartache and disappointment. People only change if they want to change or due to manipulation tactics and abuse. Even with professional help, abusive people rarely change. And even if they do stick with it, it takes years and they often only change in a small degree. One of the biggest downfalls of victims is a false belief that their love can change another person. That if they can just show the other person how much they love them, that the other person will finally get it and change. The other person already knows you love them. That's why you allow them to abuse you. You loving them is not a reason for them to change, but for them to stay the same. For them to change, they first have to admit they were wrong, then do all the hard and painful work of dealing with all the dark emotions and events from their past. Why would they want to do it if you keep on forgiving them? It is hard to change and most people resist it. Abusers are deep down very insecure. They often fear that even one small change they make will cause their whole life to come crumbling down. They are afraid that if they take just one look into their dark past or reason for being who they are, the dam wall will burst and they would not be able to stop what comes out. Many do not want to know what really happened or why they are who they are, while others believe there's nothing wrong with them. A person is not like a car that you can easily go get parts for. A fixer-upper person is never a bargain. Stop caring what the person thinks. A lot of the time we allow people to walk over us or abuse us because we are afraid of what they will think of us if we say no. We are so afraid to stand up for ourselves if it may upset another person. Or we run to them with an idea or an accomplishment in the hopes that they will be impressed with us. Then are hurt when they dismiss our accomplishments or shoots down our ideas. Their opinion is just that, one person's opinion amongst billions of people. Their opinion only has weight because you give it weight. When you accept they may never approve of you or your ideas and accomplishments, you no longer need to try to get their approval. When you accept they will not give you what you want, even though they are supposed to love and support you, you can let their negative opinion go. You give them the weapon that they hurt you with by expecting and needing from them what they will not give to you. When you need nothing from a person, especially their approval, you take away their power over you. Don't listen to haters and jealous people who tell you your plans will fail, or you do not have what it takes to make it, or how they in some way do not approve of you. When they come with their negativity, tell them to talk to your hand, because your mind is not accepting negativity anymore. Focus on you. Toxic people often take far more from you than you realize. How many hours do you spend going over an upcoming conversation you want to have with them, where you run it through in your mind and think of all the possible things they may say and how they may act, as well as how you will respond to them and try to stop them from blowing up? How much time do you spend doing things for them that they can easily do for themselves? How much of your resources do you give up to them that hold you back? Make a list of the time, money, and mental power you waste on the person who refuses to change. Then think about what you could have done with that time and money if you spend it on yourself. How much could you have studied, or how many ideas could you have come up with if you did not have to dedicate your mental power to think about how to have a conversation with them? How much happier would you not have been if you didn't need to worry about when they will blow up next? Defend the relationship. It may sound strange, but write a paragraph and give the reasons why you must be in a relationship with this person. You might find out you have very few, if any, valid reasons. Often the reasons you may have, you might find you can get from another person who does not abuse you, or you may be able to procure it on your own. Even finances you may be able to get from another resource if you work at it, even if it means downscaling or going to work yourself. When you ask yourself, why do I need to be in this relationship? You may find that you want to be in the relationship because you may be scared of change, or have been manipulated and made to believe you cannot make it on your own. You may be afraid of the unknown, and your self-confidence may have long been destroyed by a person who does not want you to believe you can get along without them. Start building on your self-confidence, even if it's just with puzzle pieces and hobby kits. Do things that challenge you and start learning things you know nothing about to prove to yourself you can learn new things and can solve problems. Refuse to be pulled into arguments. Toxic people love to get you angry or make you cry. They often believe they are not in control of their emotions, thus they often blame you for their reactions. When they get you upset, it makes them feel powerful and in control of you. Maybe they give you a nasty remark or a backhanded compliment, or accuse you of something, or they do something they know you hate. Sometimes they'll just start an argument out of nothing and start screaming. You have a right to walk away or to not respond to their attempts at controlling your emotions. When you do not allow them to upset you, you take power away from them and will often see how confused or even scared they get. You will also be calmer if you mentally and maybe physically take a step back and look at them as a 2-year-old having a temper tantrum. Do not wrestle with pigs. You will get full of shit and mud, and the pig loves it. Refuse to lower your standards. Many toxic people will walk over your boundaries and care nothing for how they hurt you or others and may have low standards. You may feel as if you have to lower your standards to keep the peace. Maybe you go out and they are rude to the waiter or are disgusting in their hygiene. If you allow it, you will slowly lower your standards and become toxic yourself. You may think less about how your actions affect other people and can become selfish. Your hygiene and health standards may suffer as well as your time and money management. Write down how your standards differ and how this person is affecting your standards. Then choose if the relationship is worth letting go of your standards. Understand yourself. Become mindful and understand yourself. Ask yourself, why did I get upset when they said that to me? Why do I tolerate their abuse? Why do I need their approval? Why do I need to interact with them? Why can I not walk away from them? When you start to understand yourself, you can start working on removing the triggers that upset you. You can start to understand why you may need their approval and then let that need go. You may start to learn why you struggle to let them go. It will not be easy, but it will be so fulfilling and life-changing. The moment you change who you are, many toxic people will often drift out of your life by themselves. For the rest, your need for their approval will lower and your confidence to let them go will strengthen. Accept your self-worth and dare to invest in yourself.